Imogen Davies. I'm from Kilmacombe, Scotland, and we're at Yale University just now. This is one of the 14 residential colleges. It's called Grace Hopper College, and so when you come in as a freshman, you get placed in one of those 14 colleges, and then you usually live there for your 4 years. You can move off campus if you want, but it's really nice. And like, there's the dining hall. You've got like lots of social activities that happen here, and so most people tend to stay in their college for like all 4 years.
Are you in your second year now?
I'm in my third year.
Third year. And how's the experience been so far?
It's been really good, yeah. Different from what I expected. Everything's a little more intense than what I anticipated, but like in a good way, and I've definitely enjoyed all aspects of it. So like the hockey's been awesome, especially because my team are just so nice and like I get on so well with them, so that's made it easier. And then academically, like the classes are just so interesting and I've learned so much, and I'm always really excited to go to class, which I actually probably didn't feel as much back home, and so it's cool to be here and get to experience that.
And what motivated you to choose Yale? Because I understand there were some difficult decisions, some excellent offers came your way from other colleges. What was it that grabbed you from Yale?
Well, October in my last year at school, I came and visited a few of the places who were looking at me, and I liked some of the other places, but I think once I came here and like I met the team and I saw campus and I learned a bit about the classes and stuff, I was really like, this is like definitely suits me perfectly. And then it came down to the money side of things, because other places were offering good scholarships, whereas Yale was like, it's financial aid based, so it was like coming down to that, but eventually that worked out, and I think it does work out for most people is what I'm picking up on. So. And
how have you managed to combine being a student and an athlete? Obviously you're in the field hockey team, having a tough season at the moment, but you're combining the two. You managing okay?
Yeah, I definitely am. It's definitely something that you learn to develop over time, and you develop new skills, and having a team really helps with that, because you come in and you have girls who've already been there for 3 years straight away and they can give you advice on it. So that's really helpful. And then I think just over time you figure out what works for you. And at times in my first year, I kind of was like too hockey focused or too academic focused, and like the balance wasn't quite there. Whereas I feel like now coming into my third year, I just know what I need to do. And like, you maybe don't need to do every single reading. You don't need to like, if you speak to the coaches, like they will give you some leeway and things. And so it's like, it's just a process that you figure out over time, and yeah, it's something that I've learned to balance. It's always going to be difficult and it's always like a challenge, but like that's just something you come to accept and you learn how to deal with it best.
So I think it's just gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a beautiful autumnal day.
Yes.
What's a typical day like for you?
So I'm in season just now. So in season we have Monday off day, which is today. So that tends to be when people pack their class schedule a little bit busier because you have no hockey. So I'll have classes from like 9 till 2:30, and then like an evening class as well, and then you just catch up on your homework as much as you can during that time. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday we'll have something in the morning usually, so like either a lift or yoga before class, and then you'll have your classes until roughly 1 or 2, and then you go out to the field. We have practice for a couple of hours each of those days, and then you come back, have dinner with the team about 7, and then we just go to the library usually together. So again, it's like why it's great to have a team is because you're doing it all together and you hold each other accountable, like make sure you're doing your homework and stuff. And then I usually go to bed about 11 after having done homework, and then wake up and you go again. And then at the weekend, we've got 2 games each weekend, so sometimes we're away traveling, so we'll get a bus away together, and we'll have our weekends away, or if we've got a home game then it's like a different schedule. But yeah, that's basically it.
Your eyes light up and your face has got the broadest grin. Are you living your best life right now?
You could say I'm living my best life, yeah. Definitely at times when you're losing and things, it can be really hard, but it's such a great experience, and like I just definitely feel really lucky to get to study here and get to play here. And I think the athletics, like how they value athletics in America is like something I think is very different to back home. And even when you're at like quite an academic institution, like you get a certain level of respect for being an athlete just because the amount of time that's put into it, and people just love sport here, and I like to be a part of that. Like it's really fun.
And the whole FirstPoint journey to some extent, from maybe deciding to study in the UK or then study in the United States and then finally choosing Yale. Do you pinch yourself sometimes? Because we've just seen one of your colleagues there who's leaving very shortly, and already you can see that she's emotional that, you know, this period of her life will come to an end.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's something that you need to take moments sometimes to like realise how lucky you are. And I think when you go to class and you're learning from like such amazing professors and things like that, like it does help you realize how crazy it is that you've ended up being here. And I do feel really lucky that sports helped me to get to here, because if it was based purely on academics, I wouldn't have been able to get into such a great university. And so it's great that the sport helps you get here. And then I do genuinely think that once you're here, like the sport helps you to perform your academics at a higher level, because you're like so regimented and like you make sure you get everything done. And I don't know, I just think it's helped a lot.
And tell me a little bit about some of your classmates and your teammates. Are they from all four corners of the world?
Yeah,
Blend, a real mix?
definitely. I think Yale in general has got a very international like student body. Our team we've got one girl from South Africa, one girl from England who you guys just met, a couple of Canadians. Compared to a lot of field hockey teams, we're not as international, but like there's still people from all over. And then one of my best friends is from Rio, who I met just because you meet a lot of like obviously non-athletes here as well, and she was just someone that I got randomly assigned to live with in my freshman year, but she's awesome as well. And yeah, I think I've met people from all over the place, which is cool. A couple of people from Scotland here. There's like 3 of us, I think, or something like that.
Taking over the world.
Yeah.
I suppose to finish then, a message to anyone who might be 15, 16, 17, thinking about the next big decision in their life, come to the end of secondary school, whether they should study in the UK or abroad. What was it ultimately that made you make this decision to study internationally, and particularly in the United States?
Basically, sport is valued like so highly here that it can help you get into university that you otherwise maybe wouldn't have gone into. And I think that's like a really nice opportunity and something that the UK doesn't really offer as much. And then also sport is valued so highly here, and people really respect you for playing your sport, and regardless of if like your sport's very well known out here, like it's just the idea of being an athlete is just something that is really highly valued, and it's just fun to be a part of that.